Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. Hope y'all have had a good week so far. So before we get started with today, I want to give you the daily joke. Let me see, I pulled it up here. Ah, where do boats go when they are sick? To the boat dock. I know. I think that one's better than the other ones, but I hope y'all have had a good week so far. I hope e-learning is going as well as it can. Um, I hope you didn't have any trouble accessing yesterday's assignment, all that good stuff. So today we are going to do kind of like a notes thing of sorts. I've got the PowerPoint listed down here for you to look at afterwards if you just want to see the PowerPoint. And then I also put a notes page on here for you all to open. It's going to show up as an assignment, but you don't have to turn it in. That's just the only way I can get it to where you guys can open and type on it. So if you want to use that page, you can. If you would rather take your own notes, that is perfectly fine too. But we are actually going to start working on what are called the 5 themes of geography. Um, and so we'll do these notes today, and then tomorrow I will go over kind of a longer assignment I'm going to give you guys, what that will look like for you all. So we can break down geography into 5 themes: location, place, region, movement, and human environment interaction. You'll see me every now and then abbreviate it as HEI. Just know that HEI is human environment. And so one of the first ones we'll look at is location. Location is exactly what you think it is. It is just where something is in the world. For us, it can be described in one of 2 ways: absolute location or relative location. I think we had relative location on some notes we did last week, but absolute location is exactly where something is in the world. Usually, you'll see it given in the form of GPS coordinates, latitude, longitude points, or a physical address. An example of something that's absolute location is the White House would be located at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. That is the absolute location of the White House, is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Now, a relative location is just a general description of where something is. So an example would be Tehran, Iran is in north central Iran. Doesn't tell you exactly where it is, but it gives you kind of a rough idea. So that is the difference between absolute and relative, and that is what location is. Now the next one is place. Place is very similar to location, but one slight difference. Place doesn't refer to where something is. Instead, it looks at an area's climate and describing the people that live there. So something an example I might use is the landscape of Iraq is dominated by deserts and the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. That doesn't tell you where in the world those things are, but it tells you what the place is like. So place is kind of a physical description of it, whereas location is where is it. The next one is human environment interaction, HEI. And that one is exactly what it sounds like. This one just looks at how people have interacted with and changed their environment to meet their needs. This interaction could include the area's land, water, plants, climate, animals, however you want to look at it. When we study this, we're going to look at how people have used the environment to their benefit, and then how has the environment kind of hurt them. So we'll look at more specific examples when we get to certain places, but this is basically just looking at how people interact with the world around them. The next one is movement, and again, exactly what you think it is. It's just looking at or studying exactly why people move place to place? What are some things that make people want to move from where they're at? It can give us information about what's happening in the world, such as, okay, there was a drought in this place, so people had to move here. There was a war here, so people tried to get out, or something along those lines. It also gives us an idea of trade routes in the world. You can kind of see a pattern if you look at it over time and say, okay, for frequently people travel this direction, they must have been trading along those routes. An example of that would be the Silk Road here in ancient China and the Middle East. So there is that. And then the last one, I believe, is regions. And that is just looking at how we group things together. Because a lot of times we can group certain places into a region with similar characteristics. And it makes it easy for us to study a larger place, such as a country like the US. If we try to study the US as a whole, the different areas of the US, the different regions, they're all similar, but they're also very different. And so a lot of times regions will have things in common, such as a common language, which for the US would be English, similar foods, clothing, the kind of clothing you wear is similar. It's not the same, but it's very similar. Weather and climate are two other ones that they can be similar, but they're not always the exact same. And same thing with physical features and so on. So examples we talked about last week were the US or the Midwest, sorry. Why do we group all of these states in the Midwest? Well, we have things in common. We, being people from Indiana, have things in common with people from Ohio, Illinois, Iowa, South Dakota, Nebraska, that kind of thing. We're not the same, obviously, but we have very similar things in common. And so that is actually all that we have today. And I'll go back to the Canvas course real quick. And I have this PowerPoint. You should be able to open it. If you miss something and don't want to watch the video again, you can just open up PowerPoint and it should be there. And then if you want the notes page, it's here as well. I'll actually move it up here so that way you all have access to it if you want it, and that kind of thing. But that is actually all we have for today. Tomorrow we'll have an assignment over this. There is no assignment for today. Today is just kind of a chill notes day. And then tomorrow we'll have another assignment that I'll give you. But that is actually all I have. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everybody is doing well. And as always, guys, if you have questions or don't understand something, shoot me an email. We can fix it that way. Or if you'd rather do a Zoom meeting like this, we can do that too. However works for you, just let me know if you all need help. But other than that, that is all I have. I hope you'll have a good rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you all tomorrow.